You were ready 20 minutes ago, technically. The outfit was on, the mirror was consulted, the decision was made, and then something happened. Something small and hard to name, and the decision unmade itself. Not because anything was wrong exactly. The clothes fit, the colors worked, nothing was objectively off, but something was. Something internal and specific and entirely real. Even if you couldn't explain it to anyone who asked why you were still standing in front of your wardrobe 10 minutes after you were supposed to have left, you took it off, you started again, and somewhere in the process of starting again, you felt something loosen slightly, some tension you hadn't consciously registered begin to ease, because at least now you were moving toward the right answer instead of standing still inside the wrong one. This is not indecisiveness. It has almost nothing to do with indecisiveness. And the women who do this, who change multiple times before leaving, who get halfway to the door and turn back, who arrive somewhere having tried on four completely different versions of themselves before settling on the one currently standing in the room, are not confused about who they are. They are, in fact, unusually precise about it. The changing is not the problem. The changing is the process by which the precision gets reached. Here is what is actually happening when you change your outfit for the third time. You are trying to close a gap, the gap between how you feel on the inside right now, in this specific moment, on this specific day, carrying everything this particular day has already asked of you, and what you are about to walk into. You are trying to find the version of yourself that can move through what's coming without that gap being a distraction, without the low-level friction of wearing something that doesn't match your interior, which sounds like a small thing until you've spent a full day in an outfit that felt wrong from the moment you put it on and know exactly how much of your attention it consumed. The wrong outfit doesn't just sit on your body, it follows you. It pulls at your awareness all day in tiny increments, a persistent background note of misalignment that you can't quite silence because it's there. Every time you catch your reflection, every time you sit down and feel it wrong, every time you're trying to focus on something that matters and part of you is still back in the wardrobe, trying to fix a decision you made in a hurry. So you change, and you keep changing until the gap closes, until you put something on and the mirror reflects back a version of you that matches who you actually are today. Not who you were yesterday, not who you might be next week, not who you wish you were, who you are today, right now in this mood with this energy carrying this particular weight. The outfit is not decoration, it is a translation, and you are not finished until the translation is accurate. What makes this complicated is that who you are changes constantly, and your wardrobe has not always kept pace with the changes. There are mornings when you stand in front of everything you own and feel with complete sincerity that none of it is right. Not because your wardrobe is lacking, but because the person standing in front of it is in the middle of becoming something that the clothes haven't caught up to yet. This happens during transitions, after something ends or begins, when life shifts in ways that haven't fully resolved into new habits and new routines, when the old identity no longer fits and the new one hasn't solidified enough to dress yet. The changing on those mornings is more than a style problem. It is the visible surface of an internal renegotiation about who you are and who you're in the process of becoming. You are not just looking for the right outfit. You are looking for evidence that the version of yourself you're trying to build is already real enough to wear. The relationship between mood and clothing runs deeper than most people are willing to take seriously. You know this intimately because you have experienced enough times to be certain of it that the right outfit on the wrong day can shift something, can move you from feeling like you are barely managing to feeling like you are, at minimum, presenting as someone who is managing, which is sometimes enough to make the managing itself easier. The clothes change the posture changes the breathing changes the internal experience of walking into the room. None of this is magic. All of it is real. The woman who changes outfits until she finds the right one is not being precious about aesthetics. She is regulating herself through one of the most immediate tools available to her, and she has enough self knowledge to understand that the tool works. There is also a specific kind of woman who changes outfits, not because she can't decide, but because the destination requires different versions of her, and she is trying to figure out which one to send. The outfit for a day when you need to be taken seriously is not the outfit for a day when you need to be approachable. The outfit for a meeting where you need to hold authority is not the outfit for a lunch where you need to feel soft and present and human. These are not the same person, or rather, they are all the same person, but they are different aspects of her, and the clothing signals to both you and the room which aspect is leading today. Getting that signal wrong creates a friction that runs in both directions. You feel it internally as misalignment. The room reads it as something harder to name, but equally real. The changing is how you get the signal right. Some mornings, the changing is slower and more searching than usual, and it is worth knowing what that means. It usually means something is uncertain, not necessarily something dramatic. Sometimes just the ordinary uncertainty of a week that hasn't clarified yet, of a situation that is unresolved, of a version of yourself that you're not completely sure how to dress because you're not completely sure who she is yet. On these mornings, the wardrobe becomes a thinking space. You move through it not efficiently, but exploratively, the way you'd move through a problem you don't yet have the answer to. Each thing you try on is a possibility you're considering. Each thing you take off is a possibility you've rejected, which is its own form of progress, even when it doesn't feel like it. You are narrowing toward the truth by a process of elimination, and the truth, when you find it, will feel less like a decision and more like a recognition. There it is. That's today. That's who I am this morning. The people who don't understand this, who wait by the door and check their phones and suggest that surely any of the options would be fine, are missing the point completely. Any of the options would not be fine. That is the entire reason this process is happening. Fine is not what you are trying to achieve. You are trying to achieve accurate. You are trying to achieve aligned. You are trying to walk out of your front door feeling like yourself, which requires first finding out who that is today, which takes however long it takes, and which cannot be rushed without cost. What is worth naming underneath all of it is that the changing is a form of self-insistence, a refusal to show up as a version of yourself that doesn't feel true. In a life where compromise is constant, where you adjust your opinions and your volume and your needs to fit the rooms you're in, the insistence on getting the outfit right is one of the places where you don't compromise, where you hold out for the version of yourself that feels accurate, even when it would be easier and faster and more convenient to just wear the first thing and go. That insistence is not vanity. It is dignity. It is the quiet, repeated decision that how you present yourself matters, that you matter, that showing up as close to yourself as possible is worth the time it takes and the mild inconvenience it creates for everyone who is waiting. You will be late sometimes. You will change more times than seems strictly rational. You will stand in front of the same wardrobe you have stood in front of hundreds of times and feel with complete fresh conviction that you need to find something you haven't found yet. And when you find it, when you finally put on the thing that closes the gap and look in the mirror and feel without question that the outside matches the inside today, you will walk out of that room differently than you would have walked out 20 minutes earlier, taller somehow, more present, more you, and that will have been worth every single minute.